People were shocked that Rose would love this gentleman. And I come from a very proud community. They began asking, utalisha naye watoto nini na sasa mtu kama huyu nakaa kama chura.
Oh my goodness, that was harsh.
Very rude.
Yes.
And very rough. But anyway, I had already overcome all that.
Yeah.
So the rest is history. I decided to go to school.
At what age now?
Primary 1 at 21.
21 is when you started education.
Yes, and I went up to standard 7, did my CP, I passed very well.
Another beautiful Thursday katika Mfahamu Kiongozi, mahali ambapo we get an opportunity kusikia story na historia ya viongozi mbalimbali, na hii leo katika Mfahamu Kiongozi I've gotten an opportunity, a golden opportunity, kusikia story ya mmoja wa kiongozi na viongozi ambao nilitamani kusikia story yao zaidi hapa ndani ya Mfahamu Kiongozi. Na bila shaka kabla sijasema mengi, kiongozi yoyote ambaye ungependa mimi nizungumze naye ni kwa 22047 mitandao ya kijamii @TV47 Kenya pale Facebook na ukurasa wetu wa X. Kauli yako siku zote na kiongozi huyo, mimi na wenzangu ndani ya runinga hii ya TV47 tutawatafuta na kuwapata. Jina langu ni Mutuku na hii leo tunazungumza naye mbunge na pia ambaye ni kiongozi wa kidini Bishop Jackson Kosgei, kusikia story yake na historia. Asante sana kunipa nafasi siku hii leo kuzungumza na wewe.
Thank you for having me too.
Thank you.
It's a kind and it's a gesture of goodwill and a privilege.
I am so honored as well. I'll start by asking you to tell me about you, but then some of the good memories, childhood memories you have from the family where you were born.
Absolutely.
Yes.
First, I was born normal like any other child, because one of the questions gravitating around leadership is about the person himself or herself. How did you manage to be where you are today? Who are you from the beginning? And I wish to say briefly, I was born normal in a family of 12.
That's a big family.
A big family, yes.
Yeah.
That lady, I honor her. And then at the age of 5, I had an interruption in my life. I was able to walk on my 2 feet like any other child. Grew up to the age of 5.
Yeah.
Then there was an outbreak of polio at that time. WHO record indicates that between 1945, after World War II, and 1965, there was a very, very severe outbreak of polio. And I happened to have been born around that time. And when I was 5 years, then I caught polio. That somehow distorted and interrupted my childhood. And living from, in every society, they have a reason and interpretation for an event. So one of those came about. They were wondering what really happened to this child. And this can form a presupposition of an individual to hinder you from progress or encourage you to progress. So some people thought there was a curse in the family, and this is perhaps one of the manifestations. The other people thought maybe the ancestors, because I was not a Christian, I was not a Muslim, we didn't belong to these big religions, and we are traditionalists. So you
just a normal life,
normal African tradition.
Yes.
So others said maybe the elders saw the future of this young man would be complicated or whatever, and then the gods took his...
Or rather they saw your star.
Yeah, something. And so many others. So I grew up with those stories, and that is how my life was shattered. But I have come to learn later on in life, most of the great leaders in history I don't count myself one of them,
You
but
are
I am
one
one
of them.
of the
Yes,
leaders.
you are one of them. You can never say that you count yourself out of that.
Yeah, very interesting is that not only do they have a story behind their background and legacy of life, but they have come from small places and small beginnings. That is very interesting.
Yeah.
If we had time, we would be able to look at some of the examples in history. But I grew up until I was 18 years, so it is interfered with my childhood growth as a normal child. One, the family and community almost concluded that fate has had it. So it means my fate has been sealed. So
And nothing can be done.
and nothing can be done. It's like fatalism. Fatalism is ni shauri ya Mungu, shauri ya Mungu. So agae hapo na amewekwa huko ili kutujaribu. Kutujaribu human mercy and so on. So not until when I was 18, all my siblings and others had gone to school, and it was before independence and then soon after independence. So I stayed in the village until when I was, I think, 18. That is early 70s. And I thought, because everything about me is perfect, except I have weak legs. But everything upward, the brain, the body itself, I mean, total function. But I've been hampered by disability. Schools were very far. It was not like these days, you know, primary schools.
Nowadays you can walk anywhere.
Anywhere. You go rivers, you hit one, you go forward, sideways. There are many schools.
Yeah.
So I think at the age of 18, we were not wealthy, so poverty crept in. It was time for each one of us to find a way to, and then I had no education, I had not gone to school. But
your brothers and sisters had gone to school, and it was the time for them to fly away.
Absolutely, even the younger one. At one point we were alone with my parents with the last bones. But something I'm grateful forever, I had a very courageous and wise woman in my mother. I don't know how, but I think I would say today as a Christian leader, God was preparing me for the future. So this lady spoke to me. She encouraged me, and she was not ashamed of me. Immediately after I was sick, she dug a hole outside so that she would put me inside, because there was no chair. She would put me inside because I had no strength to sit up. So she made a hole in front of our house. And in that house, she made sure that I can find a place to sit while she does her job as a woman, clean, who sweep, does the threshing of weeds and so on. Not wheat, but millets and maize at that time. So she encouraged me. She spoke to me, and she spoke to me not as a disabled. She spoke to me as a child, actually the fourth born, and she was very, very encouraging. I think those are the words that built my life. I grew up with a presupposition of self-appreciation.
Knowing that at some point I would be better.
I would be better, because she told me no one is declared to belong to wealth and the other belongs to poverty. That's what she told me. Very wise words. And then she told me something very interesting. She said, a man that is male will always be protected by his property, what he has. And then I was cheeky. I asked her about a woman. She said, go and ask your father.
Instead of wealth, you're asking about how about a woman? And did you manage to ask your father?
No, I couldn't. Until later on, I asked my my other uncles and so on, and and so on. And they were like saying, you know, when a woman, so long as she has children, she has what we call a closer understanding that can protect her. And so on. So anyway, I grew up and with that lady, and then she was getting aged, and she told me one time I will no longer carry you, because she had to carry me for more years than every other child. I remember I was 15, and she told me, from now on, I understand there are two gods. There is one called Jehovah, the other one is called Mungu. So may the two of them take care of you.
Yes. Now you are over 18.
I was over 15. So she said, you are getting 80, I am not able to carry you, and then I have the other siblings I must take care of.
Yes.
Anyway, so I struggled from there. And when to cut the story short, when I became, when I was 18, then I heard about, there is a young lady who came to persuade me to attend a crusade. There was preaching in our area. And
had you gone to school all this while?
No, not at all. Yeah, so I listened to, then at first I was hesitant, because we grew up to know that Christianity is a religion of foreigners. Islam is a religion of foreigners, and that we have our own traditions, and we were very deep in it. So, but anyway, this young lady persuaded me. She was a high school student. Were related, and then with her was another lady. They were young ladies. I later on married one of them, by the way.
Oh my goodness! No.
They created a husband.
Among the three, you got a wife from them.
From them, yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay. This is
later on. But they are the ones who really persuaded me to Christianity. But at that time, I was not a good candidate to marry her, because I was in bad shape, poor, no education, nothing. Anyway, finally they persuaded me. I went to the meeting, and the man spoke. Two things happened. I felt I was convinced, but I didn't know. But one serious thing is to get internal conviction. It spoke to my inner person. It touched me, the core. And I said, yes, I do not know, but suppose it is true. So finally, I made a prayer, and my life, I can't explain. Can't explain. I don't have scientific experience to compare with, but what I know, my life was never the same.
The power of God changed everything.
Let me use that. You know, you've spoken that. I will attribute that it was power of God, and all of a sudden it was like a revolution. Then I discovered I am a man like any other man.
From that crusade.
From that crusade. And I discovered the only problem I have is speed. Yeah, yeah. But life does not depend on speed alone. It depends on calculation. It depends on direction where you are going. It depends on the timing.
And brains.
Yes, and place where you are and who you are with, and so on. And I discovered people who are very fast in the world the life has catched up with them anyway. So no one is faster than history. You see them having their rise and fall. And I said, I am a man. So I asked myself a question. I asked myself a question that day. I am now 20 years and not yet gone to school. Looks like life is starting. What do I do with my life moving
to
forward?
catch up with the world. To
catch up with the world. And with consultation, talking to people, I was outgoing, and you will always find me, children, youth, people gravitating. I was a good storyteller and so on. So one thing I concluded after listening to many discussions, that I needed education. So the rest is history. I decided to go to school.
At what age now?
Primary one at 21.
21 is when you started education.
Yes, and I went up to standard 7, did my CP, and I passed very well. I had a hell of a brain. I had mathematics A, I had English A, I had general paper then. I had a P+.
You were recovering your life.
I was recovering my life. It was nothing was late. I discovered, so we were in school with very young children, and then my teachers were almost my age, and obeyed them, listened to them.
Did you ever feel intimidated?
No, I think because I was an adult when I decided to go to school, it meant I had to sort out anything to do with gaps of age and focus on education. So and the question I'd asked myself, what do I want to do? And the answer that came at that time was that I want to be useful. That became my vision. I want to be useful.
That's all.
That's all. And beginning with myself, I want to be useful to myself, because the words of my mother were, no one cares about you more than you do. That's what she told me. She called me by the maiden name. The only person who calls me by that name is that mother or any other woman of our age in our tradition.
Which is?
She's called my middle name.
Yes.
Kipkemboi. I was given at birth, showing the time when I was born. That's how we name. So she called me by that name. And he said, Kipkemboi, no one cares about you.
I'd like to hear it in Kalenjin.
In Kalenjin?
Yes.
Kipkemboi, machaminji, huye chamege.
Machemigi.
Huye chamege. Yani, no one cares about you more than you do. More than you do. And she told me something else. He told me, magurene njige yemeti nyeke inengung.
Meaning?
No one recognizes you unless you have something to offer. No one.
And that is how you decided to have something.
And that is now those informed my decision on what to do with my life. And that becomes the constant present in everything that I was doing. That number one, I want to be useful to myself. Because my mother told me, no one cares about me more than I do. Even today, at least, I have people, I have a family that loves me. I have people, friends, I have people who value me. But I remember the words of my mother. At the end of the day,
First you.
First me.
And something to offer.
And something to.
So how did you reconnect with this wonderful girl who took you to Crusade? I would like to hear that bit.
Now, you know, the binding thing is now we became members of a local church. So now we grew up, we began to participate together. We were in choir, I was a singer. She
sing?
Sang. Yeah, I did.
I would like to hear you sing your favorite song, then we sing together. I'm a singer as well.
So I was a singer and so on. And I was in choir at one point. I was leading the choir and so on. So and there was this lady. Now, first of all, let me finish what I decided that day. I want to be useful to myself. And number two, I want to be useful to my family.
Yes.
Both nucleus and the larger family. The entire family of my father and the others. I knew that I would raise a family because I said apart from disability affecting my legs, the rest of me is okay. It's okay. So I knew I was going to raise a family. I have a good brain, a good heart. I had functional body. So I knew I was going to raise a family.
Yes.
So I want to be useful to my family. That means my children and my wife, and then I want to be useful to the larger family. That's the third thing. I must be useful to the church that brought the message, the spiritual center, that I will respect it forever. it is this organization that changed me. It produced the real person in me. It busted me out to realize my potential. And I felt I was outside my home and family. I got an association, a group that you would be together where I can feel myself in the light of the rest of the society.
Yeah.
And I would be appreciated. And I said I want to be useful to that. And the final one that is now like a mission in management is I want to be useful to my country. My father was a military officer in World War II. That brought me closer to patriotism. Then I loved this country. Was proud to be born in Kenya and proud of this country. And I said I will be useful to my country. I didn't know how, but something I knew. I want to be useful. This became a constant present in my life. So I started schooling, then I started associating. So my wife had gone to school earlier than me. She was 10 years ahead.
Yes.
So she did her primary education. She went on and so anyway, while we were growing, I started going to secondary school, and in that process I discovered I'm growing a bit older, and I knew I can't wait until I finish because I must go up to university. That was I knew it will be too late for me. I had a vision. If I have to have children, I want to have them at this age. I want by these years I will be done with at least with family matters, all factors considered. So anyway, things to do with relationship is interesting. No one can really tell you. It's a mystery.
God's mystery.
Yeah, God's mystery. Then I saw this girl, very decent, beautiful. Oh my, she was in the choir, and so that was the beginning. I began talking to her. And the rest is history. People were shocked that Rose would love this gentleman. And I come from a very proud community. They began asking, utalisha naye watoto nini na sasa mtu kama huyu nakaa kama chura.
Oh my goodness, that was harsh.
Very rude.
Yes.
And very rough. But anyway, I had already overcome all that.
Their families had resistance?
Yes. You know, like, and she's the firstborn in the family, and my father-in-law was shocked. And my mother-in-law was devastated. Because when they asked her, really? Like, really? And she said, yes, it is this gentleman.
Some of the myths you had to overcome during that relationship.
Yes, oh my, it was too much. Too much. But I thank God for this lady. I respect her forever. She's a woman of principle.
I salute her as well.
And she said, this is my husband to be. He's going to be the father of my children. And she said, when I asked God, because she's a Christian, for a husband, the question came to my mind, what kind of a husband? How does this husband look like? I didn't know she had her own committee with her own heart. And she said, I want a man who fears God. He may be short, he may be tall, he may be rich, he may be poor. That's not my issue. I want a man
after God's heart.
After God's heart. And he said, in this gentleman, I see that quality. So the rest is history. God blessed us. We got married later and had children, 4 adult children, 8 grandchildren now.
8 grandchildren?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 3rd grandchild is joining university this September. The others are already there.
Some of the challenges you've had to endure during your servanthood and leadership, because I know you are a leader not only here in Parliament, but it's something you started way down there. Some of the greatest challenges you've endured and some of the memories you have, and you can sit back and say, surely this only God did.
One of the greatest challenge, and that is cut across in not only being a leader, but also living a normal life to anyone with physical challenge. It is not acceptable for someone akiwa na kasoro kwa kiongozi wetu. That was used as that my disability was weaponized. So I felt the same thing I felt all through. Someone denying me education because he thinks I belong to the crowd. Someone denying me a wife because they think I can have children and I cannot be a human being like anybody else. And now even the service to serve God.
Some of the challenges you've had to endure during your servanthood and leadership, because I know you are a leader not only here in Parliament, but it's something you started way down there. Some of the greatest challenges you've endured and some of the memories you have, and you can sit back and say, surely this only God did.
One of the greatest challenge, and that is cut across in not only being a leader, but also living a normal life to anyone with physical challenge, is that you work twice as much for anyone else, like to be like anyone else.
To be accepted.
Yeah, to be accepted. Number one, you have to work very hard to explain yourself why you want to live like others and not be satisfied the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
Liz, I had to struggle with this. Because when I wrote my examination on in standard 7 and passed very well, and I had 27 years that time, the society, including my own family, relatives, they said, you don't need to go up to secondary school. I mean, Jackson, what are you looking up there? You are fit. Old enough. Can you be a gobbler and do some stuff which is next to you? I remember when I argued with one of them, I told them, no, the difference between you is the way we look at life. You have been up there for a long time and you are looking at life downward. Myself, I've been here too long, so I'm looking up. So
that is the whole difference.
That's the whole difference, and I had to overcome that. I went to secondary school. The second thing is when I wanted to be married, and people were asking a question, including my relatives. You're getting married. How will you manage life? How will you educate your children? You will become a bother to all of us, you know. You will be making us contribute
towards
you and so on. And so I had to explain everything. And I will surprise you that even in the church, when God raised me and my life, I would use the language of the church. They said, you would feel the anointing upon my life and you would witness the real calling that I am a church minister, and you would discover talent and you would discover giftings. I was very effective. When I decided to refill to the leadership of the church, apart from them giving me opportunities, because I was ordained as a lay minister, I joined the church ministry in 1974. Mm-hmm. And 2 years later, I was ordained as a lay minister.
Yes.
And under a leader of the church, and I was so effective. I became one of the pronounced evangelist in my area, and we really grew up. Now, when I was to be ordained now into a full-fledged church minister, and after going to theological seminary and coming back, they asked me a question. How do you want to serve the church? Do you want to serve the church full-time or part-time?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that question sounds a good question.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a question with an attitude.
Yes.
Because they are asking me whether in my condition, can I appreciate that is it easy for you to serve the church full-time?
Which is discriminatory, actually.
Absolutely. And so I said, because I understood what they meant, I said, yeah, I would like you to judge for yourself. If I have gift, if I have the anointing, and if I have the right doctrine, I would want to serve God full time. But if I'm lacking in any of the three, because I love God and I love the church, I will serve part-time and then I will do something else.
Mm-hmm.
It is when I saw the chair of the panel shed tears, because they know me. They said, if God has accepted you, who are we? So I had to struggle with that, Liz,
mm-hmm.
and it never deterred me, because there is a constant pressure in me that I want to be useful. No one can stop me
mm-hmm.
from that. And evidently, really, I now I've retired, so I have the guts of saying it, that you could not ignore me, really. You could not ignore me.
Yes.
And I was one of the among the effective ministers in my age and generation.
You became so vocal.
Oh my, I tell you. And in all fields.
Yes.
And I became a very influential person. Notwithstanding, soon you stay with me for about few minutes and you forget I don't have legs, and you almost tell me to run with you.
That's a beautiful thing.
So the final one, which I experienced, is when after my retirement, I said I want to be useful to my country, and I cannot be useful unless I be in a position of influence. So I contested for senatorial position. If you hear me, most of the time people are referring to me as senator.
Yes.
It's because I was a very serious candidate.
I remember when I first heard you.
Yeah.
You were vocal on matters leadership.
Lovely.
Did this not put you at loggerheads with the government?
Yes,
Have you faced threats?
Yes. I spoke what in my time as a church minister, I spoke truth to power.
I remember.
Which I still do.
Mm-hmm.
But in our time, we never demean leadership. We never demean the president, even at very worst time, because our elders then, Henry Okulu, I was an Anglican.
Yes.
My foundation is in Anglican. During the years of Manasseh Kuria, David Kitare, my friend, the late Alexander Muge, I went to celebrate last week, 35 years after his demise. He was a chairman of our, what they call KAYO, Kenya Anglican Youth Organization. So we were part of the, in the part of the world where I came from, they considered us as radical minds. But we have always criticized government very respectively. We never forget that we are pastors, and our pastoral duty goes beyond our differences of opinion. But because I was very focal, as you say, I'm surprised that you listened to me.
Yes,
when I look at your age, I said, did you hear me really in my heyday?
I got at least to hear it when I got in the media. I got to.
You could see it, yeah.
Yes.
But, so that is it. Now, the major challenge, because I'm going back to the challenge you talked about, and it is very important for everyone who really would listen to this story, is that when I contested as
Senator.
For Senate, and it was becoming evident that I was winning, because the first thing when I declared, I took the ticket of my party then overwhelmingly. I think about 70%. I had a real good winning. Now I was contesting against, at that time, Gideon Moy had not declared because it was 2013. So I even called him. We had a cup of tea with him. And I said, the son of my sister, because the wife, the mother comes from our family. I said to him, would you be contesting for what seat in Baringo now that we have a new constitution? He was not decided, and then I decided myself, and I stood for Senate. Now, 2-3 weeks to election, 4 weeks to election, and it was evident I was ahead after he contested. Now, the same challenge that I had it all through came now to the fore. And they said in our tradition, cultures,
and everything,
it is not acceptable for someone akiwa na kasoro kwa kiongozi wetu. That was used as that my disability was weaponized against me.
People who you knew.
People whom I knew and people who matter.
They had the audacity of telling you that
yes,
mtu akiwa na kasoro cannot.
Yes, in fact, may God rest his soul. One senior elders, let me not mention the name, somebody whom I thought would have been my protector, he declared, we cannot allow him to defeat Gideon.
How did it feel?
Yeah?
How did it feel?
To me? Yeah, you know, because I've been fighting to survive, it felt another challenge. And I felt I will fight it. And so I felt the same thing I felt all through. Someone denying me education because he thinks I belong to the crowd. Someone denying me a wife because they think I can have children and I cannot be a human being like anybody else. And now even the service to serve God, someone says, he reads to me the book of Leviticus, which was declared about the priests of Israel, that no one limping should enter into the Holy of Holies.
Including the word of God to justify that.
Yes, and the justification was not about discriminating against me. It was the ability of coming out from the altar, because no one would come and take you out. Anybody stepping there would die. Suppose you collapse there. So they said, according to the traditions of the Jews, that let's have someone who is capable of walking in, and should God rebuke him, he can walk out. Because no one can save you from there, because it is the Holy of the Holies. I don't think God is discriminative that was a culture.
Just justifying the situation.
But this was used to justify the situation. And you imagine, even the church wrote a letter when there was some conflict in the church, and I was the Secretary General. And when I made a decision, you know, it's like in politics, if they want to pull you down, they begin to tell you, after all, this is not your mother. After all, this is not your father. They begin to reveal who your father is. You remember those small things they reveal in order to rebuke you. That is what they used. And they said, you know, after all, we had an oversight when we recommended you. Now that that's the charge. when we recommended you to be a pastor, it was wrong for us in the first place to ordain you. And they wrote a letter as to ask God to forgive them for laying their hands on someone who is physically challenged. You can imagine. Now all that came.
Someone in church and people in church who
in
was a
high
post.
position. And in fact, he wrote a letter to the headquarters. And I, as a Secretary General, so the bishop was given the letter. The bishop took the letter and he brought it to my office. And he said, Bishop, this letter comes from your place. I am a Christian. I have witnessed the power of God upon your life. I will not be party to this sin. I'm giving you the letter. It will never remain in the files of our church. But I'm giving it to you. What you will do with it, it's up to you. So he brought it to me, and then I said, I'm going to put it in the file so that in one of my books, I will show how fatalism can be found in the church. And so back to the politics. Now, that is what was used, and the elders were called, because we were now contesting with the son of the former president, and they said, we must persuade everybody because this man has gone too deep. But anyway, finally elders came to see me. They said, now let us allow this gentleman to win election because the father is aging, is on his retirement. Bishop, you are still young. So they are trying to use words to pembereza me, to scale down. I was promised that if you need money, we can give it to you. You can ask Mzee to give you what you have used and so on. Now, those are politics, but let me tell you, this is a challenge. And anyway, I told them finally, I will not withdraw from the race. I know you are going to use every means possible, and you will take the seat. Let it be known that I lost the election, but I did not quit. Yeah, I choose to lose election. I don't mind how I lost it, but I want to lose. I better lose it.
Do you believe you lost it?
No, I didn't. I was not to lose it, but I lost it because whether circumstances conspired, losing is losing. Because if you are not number one, you are always number two or number three. You cannot claim that you didn't lose it.
Are you still friends with Gideon Moy?
We are. Those are politics. I can't do that. I can't take offense. This is politics. And politics, it means I didn't know every tactics that they had. It means I was innocent. It means I didn't tear enough. Now, if I go now for politics, this time round,
at least you know what you're facing.
Yeah, they must be prepared. Yeah, if I
now
go now.
that you've spoken of going there, are you planning to vie for the same seat?
Sure. I'm vying for the Senate 2027.
And you believe you're going to be that person who is going to take that seat?
Every politician believes. Why not? Yeah, every politician.
I really wish you all the best. So,
and you will come and campaign for me.
I'll come and air it because I'm not allowed to campaign.
Who knows what you will be at that time? Maybe you will be a women rep in Machakos.
Maybe, God knows.
Or you see, God, or an MP, or you have that potential, and you have had interest in that.
Amen.
So let me tell you that now that is the first job a disabled has to do, to justify why he should do and work and do what others are doing. So number two, you now do what you're supposed to do. Yes.
What are the greatest lessons you've learned out of all these challenges?
I discovered that, of course, as a Christian and also a believer in God, and also as a human being, that the spirit of time is a rewarder.
Spirit of time.
Yeah, the spirit of time rewards you. Maintain your constant in life. Maintain the interest that you have about life. What you want to be. No, don't give up. No one will remind you. Nobody will help you with that. Because you can be protected by law and by association and by tradition and by arrangement from everything else. But no one will save you from yourself.
maintain your constant, and the spirit of time
Spirit of that.
will reward you. That is a great lesson I would like to walk with each and every day, and I believe so to my viewer. You came to, now you're a nominated member of parliament. How did this happen?
I said I became active in politics, and when I lost my opportunity to, just before we came for this election of 2013, it was time for when President Moi retired. And you know, from that part of the world where I come from, we have been in government since independence. And we have had Moi as the leader of our community from 1955, I think, for a period of about 50 years. We don't know another leader. Mm-hmm. There were MPs, but they were like assistants of him.
He was the kingpin.
He was the kingpin, so he became the president. Now, when we were, when Moi was retiring in 2007, now I'm among the senior clergymen and the rest, we knew the society, the community of Kalenjin would fall into mass depression. Because the election of 2002 was like a revolution. And those who were running that election, they were saying they are bringing second liberation to Kenya, and the country is being liberated the second time. So the question is, from who? Because the first one was from the colonial powers. So the second liberation was liberating Kenya from who? Mm-hmm. They described it as a misrule and violation of our constitution by mutilating it over 37 times under Kenyatta, Mzee, and under Moi. Mm-hmm. And because Kenyatta had the privilege of the founding father, mm-hmm. so he could not bear much responsibility more than Moi now, mm-hmm. who really came to implement the thoughts of Kenyatta in his principle of Watanyayo. Mm. You know, Kenyatta died before he handed over title deeds, yes. for community from Central Province, for example, who had been settled outside, and other communities. So they were living in honor land, mm-hmm. left by the white settlers, mm-hmm. but they had not been given titles and ownership. So mm-hmm. Moi had to come and do it. Mm-hmm. So he's the one who gave out the titles. Mm-hmm. Very few had taken that time. Mm-hmm. Now, when this change of power came, it targeted on Moi. And you know, politics cannot really, it's not kind when it is targeting on the leader. They will always identify the people who have been working with him. And the close community which was there was the Kalenjin. So during that time, the community of Kalenjin felt that they have been unfairly targeted on. So we came as shepherds to comfort the community, call them and mobilize them and counsel them and told them, you are not going anywhere. This is your country. Politics is politics. It is passing away. And then people were sad, and there was a lot of anger. Then came the election of 2007. The entire Kalenjin had joined opposition, and they lost the election. Actually, it was about losing hope, and so we came in to build, and I was instrumental in that. I became prominent in guiding the community, and so, and through that process, our current president and other leaders, you know, came up, and we, the spiritual leaders, the elders of the community, made sure that we are getting a successor, because Moi did not leave one. We were also trying to gravitate the community to be united, and then we wanted to encourage them in terms of progress. Mm-hmm. And because of all this put together, so I was at the front, mm-hmm. everywhere. Mm-hmm. When we had the post-election violence. It affected us and our brothers from the mountain. Mostly the conflict became a bit vicious because we've been in power together. So we knew each other, and the fight was not good. I was instrumental again in bringing peace along with other bishops, and we walked out, and we thank God for, until we decided that we want the two communities to vote on one side, and we did, and by God's grace that happened, and then on and on. So somehow, when I lost election, President Uhuru then and William, who is our current president, they rewarded me for that effort. That even if I lost the election, they gave me to be the chairman of one of the corporations in this country, and they renewed my term. And I'm very thankful to President Uhuru and Ruto, who is our current president. But himself, they still felt that
they haven't rewarded you enough.
They have not rewarded me enough. Really, they recognized the effort I put. So 2017, I was to be nominated as a nominated member of parliament into East Africa. So other dynamics came again, and I lost the opportunity. And I think our president was not happy about it. So when we came for the election of 2022,
he kept his promise.
He told his people, I feel I want to reward
Bishop,
this gentleman. And from his own stand, he rewarded me, and he gave me, I'm forever thankful, and I think that's something I've been given with a concurrence of the society. And everybody in Kalenjin, everybody felt that really I deserved it. And they really were thankful and grateful, and I'm grateful forever.
Na ndio hivyo umepata kusikia story na historia yake mbunge Jackson Kosgei. Kila siku ni safari, lakini kupitia kujituma, ari, motisha, unafika uendako. Siku nyingine ndani ya Mfahamu Kiongozi nitakupa story na historia ya kiongozi mwingine, usikose.